Welcome to Question Thursday, edition 2, or volume 2. So we have a couple of really interesting questions this time, though I'm 95% sure they're just my friends trying to screw with me. So, for the first question that actually required some thought, if suddenly transported to a fantasy universe, what kind of fantastical creature / being would you be? Not what you would pick, but what the universe would make you based on your existing traits. So after much thought, I have decided dragon. Now, of course, this is based on the more modern interpretation of a dragon, not the medieval interpretation. Because if we go with that, then I'm just a really nasty bastard who likes to steal women. I mean, while I do probably get all the ladies if I wanted, I don't do that generally. Modern interpretation. I'm talking like Tamora Pierce with Kitten and her Wild Magic series. Aragon, yeah. That one. Dragonheart. And there are lots of kid shows that my younger sisters watch that have like really nice dragons. But the more current way of thinking of dragons is this kind of tough exterior, this kind of vicious looking thing. But then you get to know them. They might be snarky, but they're generally very intelligent. They can have big hearts. Like in Dragonheart, where he gives half of his heart to the prince. Turns out to be kind of a D-bag, but he didn't know that at the time, so we can't hold that against him. And he does right his wrong by sacrificing his own life. God, that movie is so good. So I think that I'm kind of like that I have this very fierce exterior. It scares a lot of people. Actually, I've been told I can clear a row in a theater just with a look. It's really impressive. But once you get to know me, I'm actually kind of a big fluff bear. Very tender on the inside. Also, money. I like the money. I like to hoard the money. Unless I'm spending it on gifts for other people, and then I suddenly become Oprah Winfrey. You get a book! And you get a book! Everybody gets a book! Next up, recite the entire Japanese alphabet. Do I recommend any books, movies, shows? Yes, infinitely yes. I always recommend books, movies, shows. The problem is I have so many. For books, let's start with books. My top 2 favorite books top 3, I guess, favorite books that came to mind right away were A Tale of Two Cities, which I just finished, and it's so good. I know it's one of those classics that you have to read for high school, and people are like, I don't want to, but it's so good. It just describes so many different aspects of the human condition, from like the most terrible things that were done in the French Revolution that were just horrible and terrifying, shudder-inducing, to the most beautiful human sacrifice, the last most ultimate thing you can do for another human being. So it's just a really absolutely brilliant book. Another one is The Great Bridge by David McCullough. It is about the building of the Brooklyn Bridge. Personally, one of my favorites. I don't think there are people like that so much anymore. I don't think you can find that kind of level of determination in a lot of younger people today. Also, it's just a really great, inspiring story. So good. And finally, The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice. I love vampire novels, and that is, in my opinion, like the ultimate. Kim Harrison, pretty much anything written by her is really excellent. She is very good at world building. It's very intense and very detailed. Patricia Briggs is another favorite author. I love Jane Austen. Yeah, those are the ones that come to mind. Movies, I kind of have a very specific niche that I really like, and it's that kind of dark humor action film. Some of my favorites, Boondock Saint, Lucky Number 11, all the Resident Evils. That one's not so much dark humor, that one's just dark. I like zombie movies most of the time. There's some astonishingly crappy ones, like The Horde, French, and it's just terrible. It's horrendous. And also Possession, not like ghost possession, like Possession, like, it's the devil! Exorcism of Emily Rose. Those are kind of the ones that come to the top of my head. They're on my top list. I highly, highly recommend Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Most recently, Much Ado About Nothing, the Joss Whedon version. Pretty much anything by Joss Whedon I'm going to recommend. That goes for TV shows as well. As we're talking about TV shows, the ones that I have been kind of caught on recently, obviously Supernatural. It's one of my absolute favorites. I'm kind of obsessed. Anything Joss Whedon again, so Buffy, Angel, Firefly, Dollhouse, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen it, so I can't really recommend it, but I'm going to. I've been watching a lot of BBC America, so Orphan Black is really excellent. Ripper Street, Doctor Who, always. Comedies, New Girl is really good. Psych. Everybody should watch Psych. Chuck is a really good one that has been canceled. The IT Crowd is another really good British show. I think I'll stop there. I've given you a lot. Okay, so next question. Where do you want to travel next? Well, my top 4, I guess, places that I would like to put as my first place to go would be Italy. So, my people go and see where my family comes from. Spain, because Spanish, I speak it, I should use it. Norway, and Ireland, because I've already done the Asia thing and I'm kind of tired of it. Next question. Do I think that they should cut Sam's hair? Supernatural. It's like a lion's mane now. They did trim it, like mid-season 8. They did cut some of it off. And then it kind of got like a helmet thing. Like it shouldn't be like right by his jawline. It should be either really long or shorter. I don't think they should cut it shorter because he was way too baby-faced. It's too season 1, 2, and 3, and he hadn't gone through a lot of stuff. So I think like the length of his hair kind of represents his growth tearing down, if we're going to be honest. So I don't think it would be suiting him. That's terrible English. I don't think it would be suitable for him to cut it now. Maybe at the end of the show. I do think they should keep it trimmed. Stop it now, because you're right, he will become Rapunzel eventually. Okay, next one. If you had to eat the same condiment with every meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Oh, my first instinct is to say mayonnaise. Because you can mix mayonnaise with other things and it doesn't taste like crap. And it's the base condiment for a lot of other condiment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say mayo. And finally, last question. What is a talent you've always wished you could have? I wish I could dance. I do dance, but it's like that really crappy white girl dance floor dancing. I learned my first moves from Dirty Dancing, so it's really just hip movement. I've always wanted to do, like they do on So You Think You Can Dance, the contemporary style kind of dance. So I would really like to take that up sometime. That's it.